Good evening, everybody. Eric here in the garden. Want to do a quick update on something I've worked on the last couple days, and then also talk about something I'll be working on here as we head toward fall. Just a quick look at the garden. Things are looking good. Did a lot of deadheading. Had my son help me out, so that was certainly helpful. You'll notice a couple blooms left in the garden. Those are all ones that are either worth cutting or worth leaving on the bush. So overall, things are looking good. You can see I touched up the edging on the garden again. Staying ahead of that with the string trimmers really paid dividends in terms of keeping the garden looking nice. A couple weeds here and there, but really for late summer, things are looking good. I want to focus on this Gemini. Again, a couple of the blooms still on there look good, so I left them. Here's a cane where I just took off the blooms themselves. I could leave it like this, and in fact in the summer I wouldn't worry about it, but as we head into the fall and it's cool and the blooms start to get nicer, I want the blooms to be as big as possible, especially if I'm going to do some rose shows. So what you want to do after you take off that top bloom, kind of go down on the cane a little bit and make another cut. What you want to eliminate are these very thin canes at the top. If you leave them, you're only going to get small blooms and kind of thin canes from that. So you want to go down on the stem itself, and notice as I go down, the thickness of the cane changes and the leaves get bigger. That's where you want to make a cut. So in this case, I'll kind of look, I have a couple leaflets I could do. I don't really want to make a cut here because that's going toward the inside of the bush. So in this case, I may pick this set of leaves and make a cut right above it. It seems picky, it takes an extra minute, but by making a cut farther down on the bush, above a set of 5 or 6 leaves, the cane that comes out of here is going to be quite big, and that will produce a nice fall bloom. So I won't do it to all, but certainly a big bush like this that's up over 7 feet tall, I don't need this to happen. What I mean by that, look at all these thinner canes, kind of a spray of blooms. I don't want that. What I'm looking for is something like this, one singular cane with a nice big bloom on top. So a healthy bush like this, yes, I'm going to go ahead on the Hot Princess and the Veteran's Honor and trim those up down to a set of 5 or 6 leaves. Again, all you're doing is you're getting farther down on the cane to where it's stronger and can support not only a big cane but also a big bloom. Bushes that I don't touch, newly planted bushes. So this Sunny Sundays, I'm not going to touch that at all. I might keep deadheading it. If I really have some energy, I might actually pull the new blooms off. If you saw our videos earlier about maiden roses, I've got to do an update on those. I'm a big believer in new bushes. Your first summer in the garden, the more proactive you are at pulling the new buds, the more energy will go to developing the bush. So in summary, again, deadheading first, now maybe a little light trim on some of the taller ones. So I'll kind of take the tops off of those, cut down to a more substantial cane. This garden here that was just planted about, I guess, a month or 6 weeks ago, not going to touch it. You don't want to prune down a newly planted bush. That's certainly not going to do any good. Check back for updates later this week. I'm going to do an update on those maiden roses. We planted them in the late spring. They have gotten big. I want to show you kind of that transition from the potted rose to the mature bush that we have right now. As always, appreciate any comments. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's Rosie Forecast. A lot of the still pictures I take from the garden are on there. So again, if you're on Instagram, check us out on Rosie Forecast. Everybody, have a great evening.